Missouri Republicans have truly outdone themselves in their anti-gay agenda. And whatever you think I'm about to reveal to you, you're not thinking big enough because they have gone absolutely insane. They have this new bill introduced in the Missouri House that would literally criminalize teachers who validate a transgender child's gender by utilizing their chosen names and pronouns. So you might think, well, I've heard stuff like this that Republicans have been doing. No, we're not talking about like potentially the person being reprimanded or even losing their job over saying a pronoun, being polite. It goes way beyond that. This is House Bill 2885. It proposes making it a Class E felony for teachers or school counselors to assist in the social transition of a transgender child. They define that as the process by which an individual adopts the name, pronouns, and gender expression, such as clothing or haircuts that match the individual's gender identity and not the gender assumed by the individual's sex at birth. Again, they seem to show an understanding that there is a distinction between gender and sex in their definition, but not enough that they don't want to lock people up over it. So if you violate this by saying a word, you could be subject to a $10,000 fine, imprisonment, and placement on the state's sexual offender registry as a tier 1 sexual offender. That means that you would not be allowed to reside within 500 feet of a school or daycare. So effectively, that's it for you being a teacher. Before we continue with the story, we depend on members to keep on going. Don't wait, click join now on YouTube. So if you say he, when he asks you to say he, you could literally go to jail. And we will consider you to be a sex offender on the same level as rapists, legally. Worse than they think of rapists on the right, since they make so many goddamn apologies for them on a daily basis, and they don't seem to be bothered by the fact that Donald Trump literally sexually abused a woman. They think this is worse than that sort of activity. Farron, it's not law yet. Perhaps it won't become law, but this is what they're proposing.
You know, when we first started seeing these anti-LGBTQ bills, especially down here in Florida, I said at the time when I was doing segments, I said, every one of these, this is just the beginning. The ultimate goal is to legislate transgender human beings out of existence. And this is a continuation of that because that is the ultimate goal. They want to legislate anyone in the LGBTQ community out of existence entirely. And if you are an enabler because they say, hey, refer to me as he or refer to me as she, and you say, all right, sure, whatever. Suddenly you're now a sex offender. You can no longer hold the job that you went to school for, that you get your certificates for, that you go to continuing education for every year. You're done. Your life is ruined because you used he or she or they or them. I can't even. I'm at a loss for words because it pisses me off because my wife is an educator, and I know what she has to deal with, and I know that we down here are in an exceptionally red area, and we've had issues come up, with the anti-CRT legislation in Florida that my family has personally had to deal with, and it is infuriating because I don't think people truly understand how bad it is. Yes, you can see it from afar and you can talk about the stories and it's bad. Oh, this is so bad. Try living it. Yeah. It's so much worse than what anybody can read about. It's worse than what you can see on TV. Go through it, and I promise you it's gonna change who you are as a person. And it's gonna make you more bitter, it's gonna make you more angry, and it's also gonna make you realize that there is no comparison. There is no, oh, well, Democrats and Republicans are just as bad as each. No, they're not. No, they're not. Republicans are destroying people, they're destroying families, they are destroying people's very identities. And there is no comparison between those two parties anymore. That is a ridiculous argument, and that is what this always leads me to. So sorry I got off on a little tangent there, but this just absolutely infuriating.
It is warranted. Yeah, and they're doing it over you saying a thing. Yeah. So I will close by saying, and I tried to warn people along the way, but over the last 5 years or so, as the concept of cancel culture became really big, and obviously that was just a rebranding of political correctness. And some people who weren't hard right extremists were like, yeah, maybe the Democrats are doing a cancel culture. Maybe they're too censorious. They're trying to control everything that you say. They're doing political correctness. Political correctness is like if somebody says the R word and someone else is like, hey, that seems kind of offensive. How dare you try to control our speech with your, saying it's not politically correct. They're gonna lock people up for saying a pronoun. But we're the side that's politically correct. We're the side with the cancel culture. They want to end your career, end your life, put you on the sex registry because you say a word they would prefer you don't say. If you do not actively participate in the bullying of children, we're going to literally lock you up. But we're censorious, Farron. We should really look at ourselves, and correct that.